Alright guys, I want to make a little video on talking about cam specs and what they mean. I just see too much of people on Facebook and different places asking everybody what cam you think I should run in my car. Now this is pertaining to the Gen 3 Hemis. Then everybody wants to put the biggest thing they can in their engine, and that's just not what to do. Kind of a little demonstration I've made here. Now this is just going over like the basics. It's nothing crazy, nothing like that. Just to try to get a little bit of simple info. But let's start out. See, a lot of people just want to go to comp cams and get the absolute biggest cam possible for a bone stock Hemi. That just don't work. The best thing to do is, I like Modern Muscle Extreme. Then there's also other people out there like Flying Rhyme Performance. They got some good cams. They can help you out. They can fully custom grind you one, or give you one of their custom cams that they've pre-grind and tested and know that works for your combination. The best thing to do is get a hold of somebody like that. Let them know what you plan to do with the car. Let them know what your modifications is and your end goals and what you're looking for. Now, let's talk a little bit about cam specs. Now, we're going to talk about duration first off. Duration, what that means, you'll have like a number like this on your cam card. This will be the intake. Intake, say 220, exhaust 227, just examples. Duration is how wide your cam lobe is and how long the valve will stay open. An engine is just a big air pump. The more air and fuel you get in it, the more power you're going to make. But there's a certain way to do it and a wrong way to do it. But duration is how wide your cam lobe is. The wider or higher the number the duration number is, the longer the valve will stay open. The less the number is, the less it will stay open. Now lift. Lift is how high the cam lobe is from the actual shaft of the cam. The higher the number, the more lift you got, and the farther it will open the valve. Vice versa on the lower number. Now, there is a certain point where you need to check piston to valve clearance if you try to run the biggest, highest lift cam possible. Then that is where valve reliefs and the pistons and all that stuff come into play, but that's a different topic. But trying to get you to understand the basics. But also, the higher the lift, the more power you'll make. Now we get into more tricky stuff. This is LSA, lobe separation angle. This is how wide or narrow the lobes are from each other. See how this lobe is over here and this lobe is over there? That is how wide and far apart they are. That's LSA, your lobe separation angle. See the little pictures I have drew here. This is like this demonstration, like a wide LSA. This is more like a narrow LSA. They're closer together. So the wider and farther apart the cam lobes are, the higher that number will be. And the closer they are, the lower the number will be. So, well, what do I want to run in my engine? I have a positive displacement Whipple 5.7 Hemi. Well, you would want a little bit wider LSA. somewhere in the ballpark of 113 to 1. Some people go up to 116. I would rather want to be around 114, 115 myself. Because the wider this number, the higher this number is, and the wider this is apart, the less bottom end you're going to have. The less torque you'll have down low. But that's what you want in a positive displacement, because positive displacement superchargers hit hard at low end and off the line. But you don't want it so high, so less of a torque that it's crazy. But you want to get it close. So about a 113, 114 LSA, something for a positive displacement, with about, I don't know, we're just ballparking, 112, 110 intake center line. Now the intake center line is where the cam is like straight up in the center of the camshaft to where it times. And what that is how far the cam is advanced or how far the cam is retarded. Retarded means you can take and move your power up into RPM. So the higher this number is from this is how far your power is going to move up in the power band, and the less low end you will have. So if your number's 115 and you go down to 112, 110, that means the cam is advanced. Advanced will increase your low end, your torque down low. So, but if you get a number 115 and 115, that on both your LSA and your ICL, that means your cam has no advance at all ground into it. It's the same as your LSA. That is not a good cam in my opinion. Now, but something like this is more suitable for like a blower car, mostly positive displacement to a point. You don't want to go super high on the LSA, even on a positive displacement car. You still want to keep it halfway decent. But now we're going to talk about the tighter LSA. Say on a centrifugal car or all motor NA car application, you'll want like a 112, just ballparking, and like a 108 intake center line. This will give you more low end and your torque down low and so forth. And make it chop more. The lower this number is, the more down low you'll have, and the more the car will chop at idle. The wider this one is, the higher the number is, the less it will chop to a point. Now if you got variable valve timing, you can play around with the variable valve timing like a limiter, but some cams like to lock everything and you can't do nothing then. But you don't want, there's only so far you want to go. Like if you drop this down like a 108 on your LSA, it's going to be radical. Be poor drivability. There's a fine line that you want to get it to have the best of both worlds as most you can. Then there's a point that you don't want to go. But like I said, this number like on your LSA, then you see this on your ICL, that's your how much the cam is advanced. In this case it's advanced like 4 degrees. If you see these numbers the same, it's not advanced at all. If your number's lower on the ICL than your LSA, it's advanced, whatever that number may be. But just example, real quick, also your duration plays a part on your RPM band. Real high number on your duration. The higher the cam will pull in the upper RPM, the lower, the less it will pull RPM wise. And higher this number, more likely you'll have to have a stall converter and so forth like that. This example on like a stock stall application 5.7, like a 218, we're talking variable valve timing stuff, like a VVT motor 09 and up, 218, 228, something like that. 214, 225, somewhere in that ballpark. Just examples. That will be okay with a stock stall. I mean, it won't be the best. A stall converter will always improve with whatever cam you go with. But you don't want to be real like a 240, 230 with a stock converter. It just ain't going to work good. You'll get bucking, get low in, and just be a dog off the line and stuff. But just example, like a 392 Hemi with a centrifugal, just ballparking, something like a 227, 238, 612 lift, 605, 113 LSA, and like a 108, 109 intake center line. That would work good with like a 3400 stall or so. Just trying to get you an idea. But please just don't go and shove the biggest cam in your engine possible, because it won't always work for your application unless you plan on putting a 392 gear in it with a huge 4000 stall or something crazy. Just like the 274 comp cam that they make from comp, it's like a 116 LSA and a 119 ICL, which is absolutely, in my opinion, just ridiculous. That is absolutely trash, in my opinion. This cam is nothing but a dyno queen, unless you put a really deep gear like a 390 gear in your car, 4000 stall. You would get outrun by a stock 5.7 down low. It'd be a top RPM screamer. That'd be about it. It's ridiculous. Please don't do that. Get a custom cam with spec for your mods and what you plan to be doing with that car. Don't get no junk like that. That's my opinion. Like I said, this is just a quick overview and kind of a basic knowledge on showing you a little bit about cams. It's not full in depth and scienced out to the T, but it'll give you an idea and try to help you pick your cam for your car. Just a lot of other stuff goes into it, other factors, your mods and all that stuff, but just to give you an idea. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.